Have you figured out your niche? Are you helping adding value to other people's lives? Then you're in the right place. Welcome to Munira's Musings with your host, co-author of Conversations with Top Real Estate Investors Volume 3, Munira Zahabi.
Greetings from Chicagoland. This is Munira. How are you today? It's a glorious day in Chicago. I am the Dish Navigator coming to you live. I have a guest with me today. Her name is Em Haas, and she is coming to us She's going to talk to you about getting fit, and her passion is mompreneurs. So, hi, Em. How are you? Thank you so much for joining us.
Hi, I'm so good. Thank you so much for having me.
You are welcome. Thank you so much for being on my show, taking the time to come. I really appreciate it. Before we dive in and you teach us what you know, I'd like to share a little bit about who I am and what I do. I am Munira. I live in Chicago. I am the Niche Navigator, and I help people to come to terms with their niches and find their niches. Many people out there want to do something different in their life and don't know what they want to do, but there's a lot of options they can connect to. So I am the person that allows them to explore themselves and then navigate. I help them navigate to their niche. I have a compass. My show, Munira's Musings, which is this show here, is about people that have found their niches, what they have gone through, how they found their niches, why they do what they do, and what are the implications or the positive side of business. You know, we always hear that they're so successful, but everybody had to go through a trial period. And that's what this show is about, because it shows you that there's a trial period that everybody has to go through, but the outcome is awesome. So when I talk to people who are doing extraordinary things in life, this is exactly what I want to portray. But enough about that. Let's talk to Em. Hi, Em. Tell us where you're calling from.
I am calling you from Portland, Oregon.
Great.
Yeah.
And how's the weather over there?
A little gloomy as usual, but I'm excited because I'm moving to San Diego in a month, so I won't have to deal with it.
Oh, that's heaven on earth. That's a place I would want to live in anytime.
Yes.
I used to live in California, so my kids went to colleges in San Diego, so that made it awesome. But if I had a chance to go back and live there, I would do it in a heartbeat.
Amazing.
So tell us a little bit about yourself.
So my name is Em Haas, and I'm the CEO of Fit Mompreneur. So I help moms fit in workouts and their favorite foods while setting a healthy example and showing up as the confident example their kids deserve. So I started my business almost exactly a year and a half ago, and I left corporate fashion. I was in fashion for 5 years before this. So I was designing for Nike and Under Armour. So I had to know the body inside and out in order to design workout clothes. And with that being said, as I fell more into anatomy and physiology and things that I was studying on my own that not a lot of designers were interested in, I was like, why do I love reading such dense material? This is usually boring to everybody else. Why am I so fascinated with it? And so that led me to getting more and more into fitness and on my own recreationally. And I just started thinking of ideas in the gym and different pocket ideas and things like that. So fitness was already a huge part of my life. And I knew that I had had such a powerful story, having had anorexia for 3 years in high school. And also my mom was a mompreneur, and she still is. And she really helped me get healthy after that, and at a really young age when I was overweight and grew up and was teased and things like that. So it really, her instilling that in me And that empowerment really carried into my adulthood and helped me set up healthy habits. And now it's just instinct to live this way. And so my mission is to rewrite the way the next generation learns how to take care of themselves, mind and body.
That's awesome. So let's talk about that. Your mom, what's your mom's business? Not that this is her interview, but what's her business?
Yeah, so she owns an online business where she basically designs websites for real estate agents. And then she actually owns her own real estate agency. So she's very much in that real estate world, but it's still like on her own time, like setting her own schedule. And during that entire time of her like starting businesses, she never stopped taking care of herself because she knew the importance that when she worked out and nourished her body, she just showed up better. And so people automatically wanted to buy from her.
No, okay. So that's a point, right? That's a good point. So she instilled that. Now you said you started your journey being teased in school and, things that good people don't do to other good people, right? And so how did your mother help you overcome that?
So I like to say that she helped me become healthy while still being a kid at the same time. So during this whole process, I literally came to her after one day of just being teased so much. And I said, Mom, like, I'm tired of being fat. Like, what do I have to do to fit in? I don't have any friends. And she just really took my hand and took me on her journey with her. So she did it with me. We walked every night after dinner for 2 miles and it took about 45 minutes. And during that 45 minutes, we talked about school. We practiced the spelling test for the next day. Like we just grew this such a strong bond to the point where like, I didn't feel like it was punishment. I didn't even feel like I was working out. And then when it came to food, she really did it along with me as well. She taught me portion size, and she also ate really healthy with me during the week and then would take us to Blockbuster and rent a movie and order pizza on a Friday night. And it was like, I saw that nothing happened to her body and that she wasn't shaming herself about it. And she just really always acted that way around us. And so I really learned balance and the importance of not looking at food as good or bad at a really young age. And I really think that not having that restrictive mindset really set me up to not only lose the weight. So I ended up losing 30 pounds at 9 years old because I was that overweight. I was shopping in the women's section at 7 years old. And it was really, really unhealthy. But at the same time, I never missed a sleepover or a birthday party. And I just felt like I was still a kid at the same time.
Not every parent does that. So you grew up, you finished your whatever, you started working with the brand names of the world, the Nike and the Under Armour. So when you did that, how... what made you change that don't want to work for this corporate anymore, but I want to help people get fit? What changed that? Take us to that time that mindset change happened.
So like I said, I mentioned before, I had anorexia nervosa when I was 16, and it was about from 16 to 19 years old. And I always tell people that it took me about 2 years to recover and then another couple years for my mindset to fully heal. So it was like I had gained the weight back and people thought I was quote unquote healthy again. But at the same time, I was still very obsessive with food. I counted calories. I yo-yo dieted for years during college. And, being in fashion, every time I would get a chance and I felt a lot of stress with school, I would go to the gym. Every time like friends would tell me like, oh, I don't have time to work out, I have too much schoolwork, I somehow made the time and still like was on the dean's list and I still like graduated like with really good grades. And I was like, why are people putting work in front of their body? Like if anything to me, like I can't start my day without moving. I can't start my day without like a healthy breakfast. And I just saw how it was like transferring over into my productivity, the way I showed up, the quality of my work, and my confidence when I was presenting it in front of other people. And so when I got to the corporate world, that kind of environment only got worse. People were staying late nights. They weren't taking care of themselves. They were ordering takeout, and they were making excuses and exceptions for not being healthy. And they put their career in front of themselves. And so it just infuriated me. And I had a fitness coach at the time just for like maintenance, and she would send me workouts and stuff like that. And we grew really close. And I really always thought to myself, every time I'd interact with her online and she'd email me workouts, I'd be like, like, how did you start your business? Like, how did you put this all together? Like, did you work at a gym? Like, how was the process? I didn't know anything about online coaching. And so I'd slip it in and mention it to my parents, like, that'd be really cool if like I ended up doing that. And after 5 years of them paying for fashion school in the middle of New York City, they did not want to hear that. And now I'm an entrepreneur, and they were like, no, you have a really good company. There's benefits, like stay there. Like, and they just thought that it was BS basically to be an online entrepreneur. And so I really just said to myself, you know what though, like in my heart, every time I tell somebody about my anorexia story, I give them a fitness tip. I give them a nutrition tip, like anything that has to do with their body confidence. I feel amazing. I've never been so fulfilled. And I know that that's my calling, because every time I would do it, I just felt like it wasn't work. And the person would come back to me and be like, oh my God, that worked. I feel so amazing. And so I really just said to myself, you know what, like, this sounds crazy, but I have to make this work. Like, I don't know how this is going to happen. I'm going to do some research. I'm going to invest in a business coach, and I'm going to leave my job. And so October 2017, I had hired a business coach. I went to one of his live events, and he literally looked me in the face and he said, Em, you have to put in your 2 weeks at Under Armour. That's where I was at the time, on Monday. When we get back, you get back from the weekend. And you have to promise me you're going to do it, because if you don't promise me, you'll never do it and you'll be stuck. And I promised him that I would. And the entire plane ride home, I'm like talking myself into it. And then I'm talking myself out of it. And the entire way walking through the parking lot to my office, I was like, this is crazy. Like, I just spent 5 years like doing this. Like, what am I doing? I'm giving up this entire industry. I work for Under Armour. Like, what am I doing? And I just walked in, and my heart was pulling me in another direction. That's the best way I can explain it. My head was on the other side, and my heart was pulling me towards coaching. And I literally just walked up to my boss, and they were like, how was your trip? And I'm like, great. Can we have a meeting with HR right now? And they were just like blindsided. And I walked in shaking. And to this day, it was the scariest moment of my life. And I said, listen, this is what's been going on. I hired a business coach. This is what I really want to do. And I feel like I'm physically taking someone else's spot here at Under Armour that's way more passionate about fashion than I am. And I just can't do that. I can't rob somebody else of their dream, and I can't continue to rob myself. So this is what it is. I'm putting in my 2 weeks. And then I called my parents. So I did this. I didn't tell anyone that I was doing it. And then I told everybody after the fact. So that's how I got here. And it was really just a calling, and I can't explain it. It was a whole body feeling that I needed to do it.
Okay. So now you're here. What is it that you do?
So I'm a women's online fitness coach. So I do one-on-one coaching as well as group. So really what I do is I get people inside my custom app, and I send custom workouts. So if a mom comes to me and she's like, Em, I only have 20 minutes in the morning. I have a new baby. I have a business I just launched. Like, I really only have 20 minutes. Okay, cool. So I make their workouts completely custom to their time constraints. their lifestyle, and everything that I watched my mom do, as well as I implement in my everyday life. Because even though I don't have kids, I kind of feel like my clients are kids at this point. I know exactly what it feels like to be in the middle of a gym or to be working out and feel guilty because you want to be working on your business. You want to be getting ahead, and you feel like working out is kind of a waste of time. Like, I could be working on my business instead. But every single time, they always come back to me, my clients, and they're like, I feel amazing. My sex life is better. I feel confident on Facebook Live. Like, my kids are starting to notice, and they're asking me like what this healthy food is that I'm eating. And so everything is all in one place. It's in an app. They get their workouts, their nutrition, and then they also get mindset coaching. So like I said before, it took me, a year maybe to put the weight back on when I was anorexic, but it took me almost 2 or 3 years to really gain back that mindset. And I really think that that's what holds people back the most, especially mompreneurs. They have mom guilt, and they also are starting their business, which is a baby in a way. And they put everybody and everything in front of themselves already. And then when they start a business, they put their clients in front of themselves as well. So it's almost like it's a double hitter, and the weight comes back on, the emotionally eating starts, skipping workouts, things like that, because it seems like the most important thing in the world. But your business does not mean anything unless you take care of yourself.
You nailed it right there, right? Because I'm guilty of it too, because once you start something, you get carried away, and businesses are like, especially if you're working from the home, when you're on your computer, it's like a squirrel, right? Oh, I got to do this. I got to do this. I got to do this. And you're jumping all over the place. Oh, one more second. And 2 more minutes. I got to finish this. And I'm guilty of it too, because then I forget you have your water bottle, but I've forgotten to bring my water bottle up, right? My office is in my bedroom. So this is where it is. And so it becomes a struggle as to, do I need to go downstairs and finish that, or should I just sit here? But again, we've learned that taking breaks from the computer also helps, but we don't do it. We've had so many conversations about this. We've had so much studies about it, but we still don't do it. But that's okay, because we are who we are. So your target audience is women with babies who are in business, right?
Yeah, so I have clients that have kids in high school. The point is that they are mompreneurs, and they are putting their work and everyone else, including being a mom, in front of their health. And at this point, they feel like it's too late. They feel like they'll never get back to their pre-baby weight, that their body's not the same. All these excuses that we use, hormones, things like that. I've had women literally tell me and convinced themselves that it's too late, and after 2 months lose 11 pounds, are back in their pre-baby jeans, like literally feeling incredible. And I'm like, this is what happens when you not only invest in yourself, but when you believe in yourself that it's going to happen. Your life is as good as you let it be. If you think the weight's never going to come off, then that's exactly what's going to happen. So it's really about mastering that mindset. I never have a client where I just send them workouts and nutrition. I'm like, hey, good luck, bye. I do not think that that's what makes the transformation. There's plenty of programs out there. There's plenty of workouts you can download for free. You can go on Pinterest right now and find hundreds of workouts. The point is that if that was the solution, there wouldn't be a problem.
I like that. I like that. Because, okay, so there's all these things out there, right? There is a lot of things out there. How are you different from anybody else?
So I actually started implementing this when I designed my program, because I thought it was probably the most vital thing, was really having the moms, number one, tap into their inner child. So a lot of times when women become entrepreneurs and moms, they step really into their masculine energy. They like to get shit done. They like to be overscheduled. They like to live by their Google Calendar, and they're just like do, instead of being a human being, they're being a human doing. And so what being in the masculine energy does is it causes burnout, it causes frustration, stress, bloating, cravings, all of the things, not good sleep, all of the things that are really a detriment to our health. And so I allow them to not only find a balance between their masculine and their feminine energy, which is play, learning how to receive, being more submissive, and really just giving more to themselves rather than giving to others. And so what that looks like is really tapping into their inner child, because I believe that you have to mother yourself before you can mother others. And so what that looks like is really getting back into their hobbies, looking at their calendar and doing scheduling audits and looking at, is your work taking up the majority of your day? Where is your self-care? Even if it's for 10 or 15 minutes, how can we fit that into your day? So I really make sure that their fitness isn't another thing on their to-do list. It's only adding to their life. It's an escape. It's a stress reliever. It's a break from their computer. Like, I really dive into their schedule and make sure that comes to high life, each slice is pretty proportionate. It's not like work takes up 3/4 of the pie and then we only have maybe 10% for self-care and relationships. That's not how it works, and that's not healthy. So I really focus on that. And then number 2, the third month of my program, so the whole program's 12 weeks. The last month, I teach them how to start implementing everything they learned in the program with their kids. So that starts with nutrition and movement. How can we start getting our kids to move a little bit more? How can we inspire them to get back into a sport instead of being on the computer after school or a tablet? So I really make sure that everything they learned is really setting that healthy example.
This is very good. I appreciate this because I like the fact that you are not only looking at the fitness part of it, but you're also looking at daily life. You're looking at the whole circle, right? And saying, okay, how is it that you're going to slice, dice, and this thing? I mean, for me, my kids are grown. I am a grandma, but I have everything scheduled. I schedule everything, even if it's a 15-minute phone call or something that I have to do. If I'm going to the grocery store, I will schedule that because I can move things around if a few things, but if I don't put that on the schedule, it's not going to happen. This way it gives me a nice timeline of who I am and what I can do. So that's an awesome thing. However, what you are teaching is also nutrition, right? And fitness. So I like that aspect. How do people find you?
Yeah, so you can go to fitmompreneur.com. That's MOMPRENEUR. Or you can find me on Facebook. It's just Em Haas, EMHAAS. And I'm Em Haas as well on Instagram. But yeah, you can shoot me a DM, really tell me what's going on, what you're struggling with. And if anything, like I always tell people, like I serve every single person I get on the phone with. Like I never just take it as a sales call or anything like that, or just a funnel to get to my program. Like, I really dive deep and help you figure out what's really holding you back and give you a roadmap, regardless if it's a good fit or not.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, well, there, folks, here you are. An entrepreneur or mom, whatever you are, but still need some fitness advice, you want to talk to Em Haas because she's the woman. I've just learned that she does a lot of things for you that helps you get fit. I want to be like that mom who lost 11 pounds in 2 months, right? I want to be like that. So, and then for me, I make excuses because I was born a big baby. I was 10 pounds, almost 11 pounds.
So was I, yeah.
So, and so, and then I've had babies and, I say that stress, also with stress, I can't lose weight because I got a lot of stress. it's not only business, but I got family, got sick husband. I mean, there's a lot of things that are happening. So, but don't make excuses, right? There is a way to lose weight. And I'm not talking about just losing weight. I'm getting fit. And I like that you're a fit mompreneur. I love that. Thank you so much. For those of people who are watching and want to get fit, Em is going to leave her email address down at the bottom. It's also on the Zoom under her name. But leave us with your website so that people know how to get in touch with you. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen, you are the most important person in your life. Take care of yourself because there's only one of you.
Yeah.
So, right? You agree with that?
100%. And I believe that a healthy kid starts with a healthy mom. So if you're really frustrated trying to get your kids to be healthy, it starts with you. So. And
I like that because we now looking at schools also trying to go healthy, and then because of budget cuts, they have to cut back on the health food. But if moms packed a healthy lunch for the children, then that would be an awesome thing as well, because you know what? We need to stop the obesity. We need to be healthy. We need to be a healthy nation just in general, and we are not. So maybe it starts with you, Em, and you know, this idea can take on as wildfire, who knows? But it starts with each one of you, and take care of yourself. Thank you, Em. I am honored and humbled that you are on my show. I appreciate it, and I love the advice. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you. Bye.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Munira's Musings with your host, Munira Zahabi. If you enjoyed our show, please share and subscribe to this channel. And for more content, please join our Facebook group called Navigate to Your Niche.